y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Danny, and today we are visiting Nassau, Bahamas. I am so excited. This is a very beautiful island. I think the official language is English, and then the currency is the Bahamian dollar, but it's also interchangeable with the US dollar. I'd say have cash so you could like purchase some things from the stalls, but it is also card friendly too. If you're coming through the cruise port, this might look familiar to you and you might have less time. I would definitely say if you could spend a couple days here, do it. But if you only have the day, I'd recommend a tour. It's always an excellent opportunity to pair up with a local, hear about the history of a place, the culture, and discover things you might not have known before. It is currently June. It is very hot. Please bring your sunscreen, okay? I didn't really have too much of an issue with bugs or needing bug repellent, but the sunscreen, y'all, it was scorching out here. So as we're going through, we're going to find our tour. We're gonna go to the straw market, which is our meetup spot and pickup spot for this particular tour. And just going through this pavilion, we saw people getting their hair braided. We saw these elaborate pineapple drinks full of fruit and all these different crazy things sticking up out of them. All right, so you're definitely able to eat, drink, and enjoy here. It's the perfect place. But yes, like I said, we're gonna go to the tour. We're gonna check out some really cool things today. I was curious about swimming with the pigs. It's something that's very popular to do in Nassau. I wasn't too sure about the ethical standpoint regarding the animals. I had the same thing with the flamingos and arubas, so I will not be showing y'all that, but that is an option if that's something you want to consider. Oh, it's okay, thank you. I also love a tour because on top of being informational and allowing a local to speak about their home, you get transportation included. You don't got to worry about paying for taxis and all of that. So we are on this strip. There's lots of places to eat, plenty of advertising. The tour I booked is pre-booked before I arrived here. That being said, you will find plenty of people offering transportation and excursions. That's why I like the Caribbean, because it's like, I think the colors help a lot. All right, y'all, come with me to cruise around Nassau, Bahamas. I'm so excited. We're gonna try conch fritters later, have some sky juice, and we're also gonna check out Junkanoo Beach, as well as see some very important buildings, landmarks, and the costumes that are worn during Junkanoo, which is a big part of their culture. Very excited. I love the colorful buildings in the Caribbean. I love how bright and sunny everything is, so I'm really excited to take y'all along with me. First stop, we're gonna go get some rum cake. Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it actually allows for about 7 cruise ships can be port here at one time. So we have this thing we say, the more cruise ships, the more tourists, the more what?
Money.
The more money, that's right, the more money for our country. But it is a beautiful cruise port. It's, you know, it's beautiful. It's upscale from what it used to be.
300.
So where's everybody from? Shout it out. Dearborn, it was cold at that time. All right, I want everybody to pay attention to our right. So you see this building right here to the right? That is Parliament House. Now, of course, you know the United States has a president, and we here have a prime minister. That's you. That is Sir Milo Butler. He was the first black governor general on the island. And so we call this street right here, we call this Downtown Bay Street, right? Yeah, you ever heard of Junkanoo? Yeah. Nice! Junkanoo twice a year, and it's actually on this very same street. It goes from one end to the next. Thank you. So we normally have Junkanoo Boxing Day, which is December 25th, that night into the next morning, and we have it New Year's Day. Nassau is the capital of the Bahamas. Anybody ever heard of Atlantis? What about Bahamas? Yeah, Bahama is one of our newly built resorts. It is on the western end of the island, and Atlantis is on the eastern end. And so they both have different chains of hotels. Love Atlantis. It is. So guys, we have a population in the Bahamas of about 400,000 people. But the majority of those people are living here in Nassau. So that should tell you how majestic this little island is, right? Yeah. 400,000 in the whole of the Bahama Island. and the majority living here in Nassau. Now, our first stop is going to be a place called the Rum Cake Factory.
Experiencing the flavor and taste of rum cake in the Bahamas is a must for me, y'all. Okay, so we went to this rum cake factory. They have a great system. It was like an assembly line. You go in, you can try out the samples, and then you can purchase. I'm used to a different brand of rum cake, but that being said, this one was delicious and it was more affordable. They're like little mini ones you could take home. I highly recommend you stock up, okay? That being said, this is one of our very first stops. I don't think this cake even made it out of my luggage, y'all. It lasted about, I'd say, less than a week, so definitely stock up.
It sells rum cake as well. You would normally see Tortuga by the cruise port or by the airport, but that was the actual factory. So we are now headed to the eastern end of the island, where we will go to Atlantis. So if you pay attention right here to our left, this is our beach soccer field right here to the left. Anybody? Black man to receive an Oscar in the film industry for the movie Lilies of the Field. Ships can be brought here. So we have what? 1, 2, 3, we have what? 5 ships in. So we are headed to Paradise Island. Now Paradise Island, guys, was once called Hog Island. Who can tell me why? Because of the pay. So, guys, Atlantis, let me tell you about Atlantis, was the vision of a South African by the name of Solomon Saul Kirshner. So to have a hotel of this great size was a big deal, right? It was a huge deal for us. It was built in 1998. But a Canadian company by the name of Brookfield bought Atlantis. However, Atlantis is up for sale again. Good morning. Thank you. Atlantis is up for sale again, guys. Anybody on this bus interested?
How
no?
much? $5.
No, I guess not. No, but it is. Yeah, it is up for sale again. Now, let me tell you. There are 2 ways you can become a guest at Atlantis Hotel. You can either rent a room or you can get a day pass. Now, a day pass can range anywhere from $150 to $200. I had a guest on the tour yesterday and she stopped and got a day pass, and the day pass, she said she paid $195. So that's the price it is at right now, right? So there are some things you can do and you cannot do if you're not a guest at Atlantis Hotel. Some at their high-end stores, you can gamble in their casino, and you can eat at their fine restaurants, right? Basically, they want you to spend your money, right? So, to my left, guys, this is Marina Village on this side. They have a lot of foods, restaurants there. They have the yachts are there, some stores are there. That is also owned by Atlantis. Atlantis is huge, guys. You won't be able to see the entire thing because it has the Coral Towers, the Royal Towers, the Reef, the Cove. It's huge, right?
Atlantis is huge. I want to stay there one day for sure. So pretty though. All right, y'all, so our next stop is Atlantis. If you are not a guest here, you're not able to access the beach or the aquarium, or I believe the park as well. There's a huge water park you have to get passes for. Now, our tour guide told us a little hack. If you stay at the Comfort Suites, apparently, and please do your research and check just in case anything changes, but you're able to get passes to Atlantis too. That being said, if you're just visiting as a guest, you can go to the restaurants, you could shop, and you can eat. And yeah, so we just checked that out real quick. We are now outside with these gorgeous yachts. Y'all, look at these. What? The water here is crystal clear. The skies are beautiful today. The weather is perfect. Again, we are here in June. While I will not be showing you everything in Nassau today, I highly recommend you check out a beach. I believe we're going to end up at Junkanoo, which is walking distance from the cruise port. Of course, you have all your water activities, parasailing, jet skis is a favorite, whatever you might be interested in. And then there's also Cable and Cabbage Beach too.
We're not summer.
Oh, we love it. A conch fritter, a conch salad comes right out of that shell.
You have plenty of distilleries, museums, and historical sites like forts to visit. You can grab some souvenirs at the straw market or go shopping on Bay Street, and you can check out the Bahamas culinary scene. You got seafood boils, the fish fry arawake, jerk chicken, rum cake, I'm sure more sky juice as well.
Now, have you ever heard of swimming with the paints and the dolphins? Well, they leave from that port right there. So we have swimming with the paints on Rose Island and also on our island next door. We have swimming with the dolphins, dolphin encounters. Atlantis does it as well. Back then, they only had one bridge to come over to Paradise Island. So hold on to your hats. Now we have two. You will see how far down Paradise Island goes. All the way to the end is actually a golf course. If you look on the north side of this port right here, these big boats, those boats are called mail boats. Below this bridge, this is called Porterski Dock, this dock here. And that's where the locals hang out and we can get, you know, all of the good Bahamian food, that good collect Bahamian bear, all of those good treats. If you have about 500,000 US dollars that you want to invest in our country, you actually can get residency here. Yeah. The main religion here on the island is Baptist. But you have the freedom to worship whatever you choose, right? This is St. Matthew's Anglican Church. This church was actually built in 1802 by the Loyalists. You see the outside structure? So we are not allowed to paint any historic church on the island. You cannot even pressure wash it. So you can change the windows, you change the roof, but you cannot touch the outside of the building. So just like the British, we drive on the left side of the road. So that is one of the things that we do like them. That is where the 66 step right here. Look at it. I challenge you to go up the stairs if you want to, but you don't have to. I think it's closed for renovation, but you can just go and look at it.
So we are at the Queen's Staircase. We're gonna climb these steps and check it out. It's a really cool little area. We made it up to the top and there was a sign as well as somebody selling some fruit. Our tour guide told us about Canep. I didn't get a chance to try it, but feel free to check out some exotic fruits while you're here as well. But yeah, it was a cool little vibe. We were almost gonna do the pirate tour. You're gonna see somebody up here wearing a pirate hat, and it's just one of the excursions they had available, plus like historic facts and all of that, but ended up just going with this tour, which was pretty cost effective and a really good time. The tour guide was amazing. She was very informational. She had a lot of personality and the free samples were absolutely worth it. We're gonna go check out a tea shop after this and also more of the city.
So that area there, that is the back of Parliament Square. The Governor General was the eye in the air of the King or Queen. This, and the Governor General is a female. Her name is Cynthia Pratt. We call her Cynthia Mother Pratt. Yeah. And a guy took it upon himself and shot Columbus off. And they haven't put Columbus back as yet. But this is where the Governor General lives, guys. This building here, the famous pirate on the island called John Gray Smith. There is an underground wine cellar that we are riding over. But they have wonderful cuisine here at Grey Cliff. Wine making, wine tasting. It's a wonderful tour they offer. The umbrellas are just for beauty. They're just for beauty. But Grey Cliff does offer some awesome tours here. There is also a Cuban cigar factory here as well. How you doing? Here, right here to our left, that is the Cuban cigar factory there.
So we are passing the National Art Gallery and checking out some different things in the city. Again, shout out to our tour guide. She was very informative and very, very friendly. We got to see a lot of the churches and hear about the history of Nassau.
So you would have seen a sign that says Museum of Junkanoo, right? So if you look right here to our left, this is the actual Junkanoo Museum. So this is an example of what our costumes look like. Our Junkanoo costume. That's an example of what it looks like. Twice a year. We have that Boxing Day, which is December 25th. That is Bethel Baptist Church. That's because that's not the original building. So this is a place that makes different flavorful teas and drinks out of like soursop, moringa, fever grass, like all of the good stuff, right? So we're gonna stop here for a few minutes.
It's very bright, yeah. Wow. Conch fritters, yes. Y'all, the free samples were hitting. The conch fritters were so good. I had conch in the Bahamas before. I wasn't a personal fan, but the way these were made, they were so great. They were like fried and chewy and very flavorful. There was this really delicious sauce. It was just well worth it. And the teas were really impressive too. Highly recommend you take some home with you. They help with different ailments and they tasted very, very delicious.
It's not, you see, it's not even pressure washed. That is St. Mary's Church. It amazes me how they be called sky juice. Straight ahead, guys, is Junkanoo Beach. This is Long Walk Beach, guys. And this area is called Fish Fry. So Fish Fry, Arawaki, right?
If you are here longer, I recommend going to the fish fry, getting yourself some good food, checking out the day and night life, okay, the different activities you have at your disposal. That being said, like I said, if you're here for a cruise, you are on a limited time period, not to simplify Nassau, Bahamas to only being these things, but I would highly recommend you get yourself some rum cake, some sky juice. To me, it tasted like an alcoholic coconut milk because it does have those ingredients in it too. And then check out a beautiful beach. There are plenty of beaches. You could check out some of the historical sites. You got plenty of options. But yes, Junkanoo is known to be a little more crowded, a little busy, and it's right by the cruise port, so that's why. But it was worth the visit. Not to generalize all the locals, but the Bahamas had such a friendly vibe. Everybody in Nassau was just on their hustle, very hospitable, very good energy. Again, our host was so amazing. Our tour guide was just 10 out of 10. As you can see, the cruise ships in the background, people just laying out, relaxing. All right, this was a free public beach. Check to see if you have to pay for the beaches, because I know some places you might, but no, we just walked right onto this one. They had a little bar, places you can get food. Water was so clear. Look at this. I'm sure it's fun to snorkel, scuba, whatever you're interested in. This is your vacation, so again, choose your own adventure. This is my second time visiting Nassau. I got to stay a little longer last time and try out some of the cuisine. I got to take the local bus. It was a really great vibe. But yes, I think it's worth the visit. It's such a beautiful island, and it's a very popular cruise port destination, especially for the shorter cruises too. So I think it's a great place to stop. Again, check the weather and the season you're traveling in. Regarding transportation, I think it is wise to have some type of vehicle or tour or have money set aside for taxis or taking the bus to get around the island if you want to see more than just what's around the cruise port or the airport or wherever you're coming in at. And it's just an easy way to get around to have the wind blow in your hair, all that. I am unable to speak on a solo traveler experience, especially as a solo female. I've only come to the Bahamas, or well, Nassau, with a group of people. I'm not sure if I would do the solo traveling. I did notice some catcalling and street harassment on a previous trip, but that is every place, and I'm not pinning that to Nassau.
That field's right there. That is the old cricket field, or cricket field, right? So cricket used to be a national sport.
I've had other experiences like this in the Caribbean, and it doesn't mean not to visit a place per se, but just to make sure you are using your travel precautions and traveling as wisely as you can.
We are a small island, and it seems like all these islands are pretty close. It's really not. So the closest island to us right now, I would tell you, Freeport by flight is like 30 minutes. So I don't know if you, what I can do, I can just where we get off, you can walk right across, it's right into the port gate. Yeah, because they don't allow you to get back until a certain time. Yeah. So guys, if you look straight ahead right here to our right, because you remember over Paradise Island I showed you Margaritaville restaurant, right? I'm gonna have to pull over because I hear the siren. Let's go to the side. It has a small water park, small theme park. It's a nice hotel on the inside as well. Straight ahead is the point. that has a parking area. It has a bowling alley actually to the bottom. Has some nice restaurants as well there.
Unfortunately, we are wrapping up this travel vlog. I'm gonna give Nassau an extra 5 minutes because it deserves it. The vibes were immaculate. And I also want to allow the tour guide to share some more information, so feel free to sit back and enjoy.
US, we have the bad fast food restaurants. We have a 2-story McDonald's.
A 2-story is crazy.
So my friend who's staying here at this hotel, this is the British Colonial Hotel, right? Now this hotel is actually on a famous landmark. This was where the British built the first fort on the island called Fort Nassau. And that statue right there, that was Woods Rogers statue. He was the governor on the island, right? The original hotel was burned down in the 1900s.
If you don't have any means of transportation, you might find yourself in this area looking around, just doing a little sightseeing, window shopping or actual shopping, whatever it is that you're interested in, grabbing yourself some food, and that is okay too. But I'm glad I got to go around the island a little bit, check some things out. They also have like little culinary tours you can do, little food samples, all of that. I highly recommend a tour with some food. I think Bahamian cuisine is worth the try.
Yeah, you see where the police is standing? You go straight across and you'll be at the museum. So you see how close it is to the cruise port? So guys, this is it for our tour.
That's all right, I'll make you all a Junkanoo.
I want to say thank you. You just go straight over into the port.
Also, shout out to this tour for having a very solid and audible mic. Our last stop is where we started. We are at the straw market. You are able to do ample amounts of shopping here, all right? Be mindful, I am not the type who likes to haggle or negotiate. I like to think that whoever is naming their price knows their worth. That being said, I looked it up and apparently it is encouraged to haggle or negotiate some of the prices here, given the location, they're aware of the tourism, and that some of the prices are going to be, pitched higher, and then you could talk them down a little bit. So we did a little souvenir shopping. I think a member in my party ended up getting some t-shirts, and they are very persuasive. We actually had a vendor come get us at the front of the market as we walked in. So it's this open, I think it's an indoor and partially outdoor, market. Everybody's selling all these trinkets and clothing, magnets, whatever you could think of, hats, decorations, and we had somebody come grab us from the front. This older lady who really wanted to make the sale, so we're like, all right, we went to go check out her stall. I think she quoted 20 for one t-shirt, and then we talked it down to 2 for 20, so 2 t-shirts for 20, which seemed fair at the time. And yes, but that is the straw market. You are going to see it right near the cruise port and that very popular street too, that's bustling with people shopping, eating, all of that. And yeah, also it was scorching, y'all. I got these magnets. These are really gorgeous. I think I got these maybe 2 for 10 or something like that. Again, be mindful you're very close to the cruise port, maybe where everybody's congregating, and so the prices are going to be set as such because they're aware of all the tourists in the area. But it should not be hard to find souvenirs, excursions, or transportation around Nassau because everybody's there, advertising so many shops and services that there is no shortage of whatever it is you need to do or whatever you're looking for. So yes, that is the straw market. We're on the outside now. Again, it was scorching, y'all. Please do not forget your sunscreen. Once more, this was June. It was hot. We were seeking shade because yeah, if you're gonna get sunscreen, it's nice to be eco-conscious and be aware of the marine life and the reef if you're gonna go swimming, and the sunscreen you are getting. And then again, I didn't have a personal issue with bugs, but it never hurts to have a little repellent on you. And that is about that. We are heading back to the cruise port area. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Love how colorful these buildings are. I really feel like color evokes a sense of joy, and I think the Bahamas really embodies that. With that being said, I want to say thank y'all so very much for watching this vlog, all right, and joining me on this adventure. Nassau was absolutely beautiful, all right. It's bustling and it's brimming with excitement. Come check out some of the Bahamian cuisine, the culture. Like I said, if you could visit during Junkanoo, I'm sure you're in for a treat. But even outside of that season too, I'm sure you're gonna have a delightful time. And overall, it was just hospitable, very enjoyable to check out, and just a lot of beautiful scenery. Like I said, rum cake, sky juice, all of that. Get you some good food, all right, some jerk chicken, seafood boils, fish fry, whatever you got a taste for. Make sure you try some stuff out. But yes, we are back at the cruise port, unfortunately. This is the most I can show y'all. I would say if you're able to, spend a couple days here for sure. You got plenty to explore and see. And of course, just sit back and relax. But yes, I hope that helps. If anybody has any advice, tips, or tricks, put it down in the comments below. Let's help each other. If you're going to Nassau, I hope you have an amazing time, and I'll see y'all later.